echando ganas, cabrón, Síguele echando ganas.
Please translate.
Lo hiciste bien. Hey, keep going. You're a great fighter. Keep going. Keep working. Keep busy in the boxing. Working, train, fight a lot, and you're gonna be champion. But keep focused, my friend. Huh?
So Canelo Alvarez beats Edgar Berlanga, 12-round points decision victory. And firstly, obviously, let's just address the most important thing. I got this fight wrong. I really thought that Edgar Berlanga was going to go in there. I thought he was going to give it a good go. But essentially, I thought by middle to late rounds, he was just going to get knocked out. And, you know, I really enjoyed this fight. I see a lot of people saying that Berlanga didn't win a round. Berlanga's a bum. I completely disagree with those comments. He didn't win the fight, and he didn't come anywhere near winning the fight. But that fight was competitive. And sometimes you can lose a fight and not win many rounds and it still be competitive. And I thought that's what happened. I thought I was very impressed, obviously, in the build-up because Berlanga was not showing Canelo any respect. And you saw that in the fight. I think this was a good version of Canelo. And he really tried to knock Berlanga out. I think Canelo's stamina was there and he was really trying for the knockout. I don't think Canelo really was, really trying to go for the knockout against Munguia or John Ryder. Whereas with the Berlanga fight, I think Canelo really wanted that knockout, especially because, Berlanga was being disrespectful in the build-up. But to address the fight, third round, obviously, Berlanga got dropped. And it was a big shot, of course it was, but it was more of a flash knockdown because I think Berlanga made a mistake. I think Berlanga thought Canelo was going to go to the body, came over the top with that left hook. It caught Berlanga off guard, if anything. And Berlanga got up and he tried taking it to him all night. Now, obviously, if we look at this from a technical standpoint, Berlanga was on the back foot too much. He was on the back foot too much and he was on the ropes a bit too much for my liking. I think to beat Canelo Alvarez, you need to push him back. Some guys, in the higher weight classes that I believe would push him back. I think Bivol, you saw it, pushed him back. I think Beterbiev would do the same thing. And I think Benavidez would do the same thing. But as for Edgar Berlanga, Berlanga's stock rose, rose a lot after that fight. I think Berlanga's a warrior. And there's a lot of fights for Berlanga if you look at that 168-pound division. This is a guy in Edgar Berlanga. He's never even been in a big fight before. He's never fought for a world title. He's never ever been in a big fight. So for someone to be in that situation, I thought he did outstanding yesterday. Really gave it everything he had, landed some good shots. And even in the fight, he really showed Canelo no respect. For people that are disappointed about this, I disagree because I think this is a guy that tried to win that fight. Jermell Charlo did not try and win that fight. Berlanga did not try and survive. He gave it his best, and sometimes that's all you can really do. So I really think Berlanga should hold his head high after this performance. And I would like to see Berlanga go into a fight against a fringe world level guy. And then I would like to, get a win, get his confidence up. And then I would like to see Berlanga in with some of these guys. I would like to see Berlanga against Plant, Berlanga against Munguia, Berlanga against maybe a Pacheco. I think there's some great fights for Berlanga. So, yeah, Berlanga goes on. What's next for Canelo Alvarez? I think he said he, wants the Bivol rematch. Now, I don't believe that Bivol's going to beat Beterbiev. And if Beterbiev wins that fight, which I think that he will, Canelo should not go anywhere near that guy. Beterbiev is an excellent boxer. He is an excellent technical boxer. He can punch. He's big. He's got power. He's a counter puncher. His jab is like a power punch in itself. That is all wrong for Canelo. And let's be honest, if Beterbiev wins that fight, we're never ever going to get Canelo Beterbiev. So Canelo's really running out of opponents. I really think, if Bivol somehow does win that undisputed fight, then I think we'll see the rematch. Other than that, I don't see the Benavidez fight happening. So it's going to be interesting to see where Canelo goes from here. Let's address the rest of the card. The first fight that I watched, the Fulton Castro fight, No, I think Castro was a little bit hard done by in that fight. I think obviously, he got the knockdown and it was a very close fight. And obviously, in these types of fights, the decision normally goes to the favorite. And, Fulton was the favorite. But I think that fight easily could have been a draw or, even a round or two to Castro. Caleb Plant, I thought looked good. I think Caleb Plant looked good against McCombie. I think he struggled in the first 3 or 4 rounds with McCombie's physicality. But overall, I think the class really shone in that fight. And McCombie really ran out of ideas. And I think Caleb Plant took over that fight with his sharp counterpunching. Fought good on the inside and got a great stoppage. So I was impressed with Plant's performance. And obviously, I think down the line, Plant against Berlanga is a very, very, very exciting and a big fight. Lara against Danny Garcia. Now, this was the one fight on the card that if you're going to complain about, I can completely understand. Just an awful fight. I mean, Danny Garcia, I'll be shocked if we ever see him in a boxing ring again. I'm a big fan of Danny Garcia. I think he's had a great career. If we look at the 140-pound division, I'll always remember when he knocked out Amir Khan. Got some great wins, fought some great guys like, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Earl Spence. But ultimately, I think this is the end for Danny Garcia. He's out the ring for 2-3 years, and the hunger's just not there anymore. Didn't win a round against Lara. I mean, it was an awful fight. But, he didn't win a round. His timing was off. And, he got knocked down with a really innocuous punch. And he went back to the corner and, I think the ref said, "Do you want to continue?" And Danny Garcia said, "Let my dad make that decision." And his dad took him out the fight. And I think it was the correct decision. I don't think Danny Garcia's got anything left to offer in a boxing ring. But he can look at the positives. I think, this is a guy that, like I said, I think he's had a great career. Got some great wins. It was very sad to see him go out that way. But, I think his dad made the right decision. And, he didn't take too much punishment in his career. And I think he can look back, with positives that he was always a world level guy. Maybe not elite, but, Danny Garcia gave us some great fights. So overall, a very, very good night of boxing. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, on to the next show, Dubois, Joshua in England.